Welcome to Foggy Nights. I slowly closed the door, putting the mail in the stand next to it, and leaning over slowly so I could see Ginny in the mirror behind me, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever my neighbor saw when my back is to Ginny. And of course, this beautiful Ginny. I smile and shake off whatever my neighbor was saying. As I walk back to Ginny, she lifts from under the blankets the bottle of painkiller I was looking for. Well, if that's not like magic, I don't know what will be. Where did you find those? Just under the edge of the bed, on the floor, when I got up to see who was banging like that at your door. That was a bit much just to give you some mail, don't you think? It's just my neighbor. We've been having issues with kids in the building busting in mailboxes. What are they looking for, jewels? Gold? If they live in the building, they must know someone is bound to catch them. Let's not worry about that, when I need to be worried about feeling better so I can take your loneliness again. Taking the pills from her to take away my fever and pain, I go right to the kitchen sink and get some water from the faucet. And I take 3 painkillers, and as I stand there for a moment drinking the water, I look at the kitchen floor for a minute, thinking about the night before. Turning around, I go back to my bed. I was ready to stay in bed all day with her. I was prepared to do whatever she wanted me to do, or say, that would make her stay with me, until I was finished with her. It was easy. She did not want to leave. So, we stayed in bed and occasionally fell asleep in each other's arms. Oh, nice, right? Ordered in food as we needed and awoke throughout the morning and on into the day. I was wondering what it might be like to spend the rest of my life with her. Maybe even have some kids down the road. Our kids would be beautiful, I thought. Around noontime it happened. Then again in the afternoon. But around sundown, it really happened. I mean, the first 2 times, it was bad, but manageable. But at sundown, it was really, really bad. And let me tell you, when something comes from just the mouth of one man, then later the same sound is coming from the heart of another, it fascinates me how you can hear it and feel it. It can have a much more powerful effect on someone, and can reveal a negative effect in that same person, which I look for. I don't live far at all from a mosque, one of those places where Muslims pray and hold their daily worship practices. I hear their call to prayer every time I am home, and sometimes it is one man, other times it may be different. It may be a different man, or a few different men, depending on what day it is or whatever it is they have going on. Well, whatever man there was making the call for their prayer in the early afternoon, she did not like it. She did not like it one bit, in the late afternoon either. But whatever man called the Muslims to pray at sundown, she could not bear it. She squirmed and fidgeted in bed next to me. She asked me to close the window. I did. Then she asked me to turn on the radio. I put on iTunes. Turn it up loud! I did. I did everything she wanted. I did everything she wanted and asked of me. For the time that man was singing that call to prayer, there was something that turned me on about the way she looked and walked and moved around once she got up in this fit of discomfort, seeming to want to stay calm in front of me, but wanting so bad to get away from the sound. She got up and went into the bathroom, closed the door, and turned on the water on full blast in the sink. Then I heard the bath going, all just to drown out the sound. When he finished, I turned down the music. She took a minute, but eventually opened the door and was noticeably annoyed, which was the first time I saw her face look like that. Turn it back up until it is over, please. It was over. I told her it is over. She slapped both her hands on her ears, hard and frustrated, like she could still hear it in her head. I just knew she was going to leave, and I really did not want her to. She smiled at me and got back in the bed, and got right up close to me and began to kiss me, again, with a hunger I can't put into words, which led to other things and then more sleeping. But that was nothing compared to that late afternoon song one man over there made for the Muslims to come pray. Whoever this man was singing this call, it had that feeling I was talking about. It was moving. You could not deny the pain it had, the longing, the passion, the beauty in it. This was coming from his heart. This was not either of the men from earlier. This man, his heart was in this. And let me tell you, I have never heard anything scream out of its sleep the way Jenny had done, waking me up in the process from the same dream I had earlier. It was so loud and screeching I jumped out of my sleep at the part of my dream where the jinn was scraping at my bones with a lighter. I never have repeated dreams. I fell out of my bed and I hit the floor hard. She was in gut-wrenching, unadulterated, pure agony. Her eyes were wide and wild as she screamed and fell out of bed, holding her chest and her stomach in her hands, going back and forth between trying to cover her ears and hold her body together in her hands as though it was going to pop or something. When she hit the floor, she made a loud thud sound. I mean, she scared the life out of me. My adrenaline was going so fast, waking and seeing her like that made me jump up to get the window closed for her as fast as I could. As I was locking it and turning around to find her and see where she had stumbled to in the room, she was scrambling to turn on the iTunes again. I could see she was badly disoriented. Her eyes were open, but no one was home. I mean, literally, her eyes were open, but no one was home. They had a solid blank stare in them. I could see she was not faking at all. She was in serious mind-numbing pain. She looked dizzy. I yelled, "Alexa, turn on music now. Play anything. The loudest sound setting now. Play something. Play anything." Alexa, playing Little Red Riding Hood. Ow! Who's that I see walking in these woods? Hey there. It's Little Red Riding Hood. Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. You sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf could want. Listen to me. I hurried to her and held her up, and then just picked her up. And she felt hot, like a heat wave was going through her body, with different parts becoming so hot I thought I would drop her. Then the heat moving to other parts of her body while other parts cooled down. I carried her out of my room and closed the door behind me to further drown out the sounds. I took her into the bathroom, and now I was the one turning on the water in the sink to full blast, and the bath tried to drown out his song for prayer. I made sure to make the water in the bath not cold, but cooler, thinking it might help her cool down. I put her in the bath, and she sat in the water a little calmer, but pressing her hands to her ears and still shaking in the bath. His song for prayer was drowned out, but his voice was strong. It was coming through the walls a bit. I could see her moving her hands to hold mine, and I took it to comfort her until it was over. Well, all I can say is that I was fully aware of what I had brought home and was completely ready to help her, so I did. I told her, "Wait here, I will be right back." I went to my fridge and took out a big bottle of water for special times like these. I take a blindfold from the drawer in the bedroom where I normally like to do what I do, to help females in her situation. But because she was already in the bath, looks like I was going to help her in the bath. Because you see, me and Jenny, we were gonna have a ball. I went back into the bathroom, and she was there laying in the tub, with her eyes closed, relaxing. So I went back into the bedroom to get the Bluetooth speaker so I could play my song list for her just outside the bathroom door. I locked the door behind me and kneeled down next to her and held her hand once more while I poured the bottle of water from the fridge into the bathtub. I looked deep into her eyes and I kissed her warm, wet hand, and she asked me, "What was that?" with her eyes looking wide and beautiful. "Oh, just a kind of medicine. It helps. It helps take away the pain. Just lay back and relax. You're safe." I tell her to close her eyes, and I kiss her on her forehead, and that everything is going to be alright. Everything's going to be alright, Jenny. I tell her, "Jenny, I have a surprise for you that I know will make you feel so much better. Relaxed. And stay calm." I ask her, with deep, warm, loving eyes, "Jenny, do you trust me?" She nods her head, "Yes." I nod my head, "Good. Good. I'm going to blindfold you and I need you to trust me because I want you to feel better and I really want to surprise you." She says, "Okay." I blindfold her. Just snug, not too tight. I take her hand again and hold it while I turn quickly to open the cabinets under the bathroom sink and take out 2 sets of iron shackles, and I keep them lubricated so that they don't make a sound. She doesn't hear anything coming. She doesn't hear them coming. The bath water begins to steam. I take her right hand in mine, and resting the first set of shackles on my thigh so that I could bring her hands up out of the water more, kissing them as I rise them up, and to my face almost as though nibbling on her hands and arms, then swiftly shackling her hands together and moving fast, lunging forward and banging my head into the wall, slipping on the damn wet floor. I go falling face forward into the water with a splash, as both my hands are ready and perfectly aligned with her legs in the water as I close 2 more shackles on her ankles. And she starts screaming, the scream of a burning demon from the depths of hell. Flopping, squirming, and wailing guttural, agonizing, horrifying screams of pain, I fling open the bathroom door, turn on my songs for her to listen to. As she dies. A chapter from the Quran. I play it loud as her blindfold slips off due to her screaming and violent shaking, twisting and turning. And there are those yellow jinn eyes I knew I had caught a few times before. I sit back against the wall, resting as I watch the water steaming and cooking her alive as her flesh and chunks of meat fall off into the water, as her skin continues to melt all the while. She is in such pain she can't help but yell. I say to her, "Zamzam. It was Zamzam water I poured in your bath, the holy water of the Muslims, and shackles of iron as your surprise, sweetheart. Thought I was stupid, huh? You did not catch me, I caught you." I sit there ready with a sharp engraved iron knife to butcher her, just if she manages to jump or flop out of the bath and put up a fight on the wet floor. Otherwise I can relax now and enjoy the show, as the bath water eats her alive like piranha. I wish you could see it. Kind of looks like that scene from the 80s movie The Lost Boys when the dog shoves the vampire into the garlic holy water filled bathtub. But this is far more gruesome of a sight. Have you ever heard a jinn scream in death? Well, hers would haunt you. Because I know it is going to haunt me. It's funny how her popping popcorn bloody body covers the walls and floor with bloody water and bits of meat. Death by Quran. Jinns can't stand it. I knew I would have a mess to clean up. I just thought it would be in the bedroom. Either way, it's fine with me. Another jinn demon down. I tell her as I know she most likely doesn't even hear me. You go, Jenny. Go home. Go to hell. And you will never be lonely again, I promise. As I watch her flop around in the bathtub until it came to a slow jerk, and then a twitch, and then it was still. The water was still. I told you I wanted this woman. Her body, her mind, laugh, smile, her heart, her essence, all of it. It was true. All of her sneaky, evil, playing, stupid lies did indeed make me like her more, want her more. Of course I know she put me in my bed. Jenny was a djinn in human form, and I was ready to help her. And I did, like many others, in many ways, because that is what I do. I guess you figured out I'm not some boring accountant after all. And Alexa? Well, Alexa knows what to play. When I yell at her, Alexa? Alexa knows what to play when I yell at her and tell her, Alexa, play something, anything, play it loud. After all, she is programmed, you know.